Welcome back with your host Jack. This is 360 Watch Reviews. Today I'm going to be looking at the Tudor Heritage Black Bay. This is an extremely stunning piece and was awarded the Revival Category Prize by the jury of the 2013 Geneva Watchmaking Grand Prix. First of all, as always, I will start off with the outside of the watch and then go into the specifics of the movement at the end. Just going to bring the focus up here. So from a first glance, we have a beautiful burgundy bezel in steel, which matches the anodized aluminium crown tube there between the crown and the case. Anodizing, this is just a process that basically makes the this part of the watch more resistant to corrosion and wear, which is great. The dial itself will appear black to most people, but it's actually a very dark chocolate brown. And the reason why Tudor have done it like this is because in the past, black dials exposed to ultraviolet light from the sun when diving would eventually turn and fade the dial to a brown. So to keep in line with that little part to the story of Tudor, they have put a dark brown dial, or a chocolate brown dial, on this model, which makes it a lot warmer than black. The indices and hands are surrounded in a plated pink gold. We have self-winding rotor on the dial as opposed to automatic, and the reason for this is because automatic is, you could call it a modern word in relation to horology. Rotor self-winding used to be on all of Tudor's watches in the past, and they've decided to keep it on this to keep in line with its sort of retro feel and look, which is great. I'm really pleased that they've done that. And to add to that, they've gone with the old style Tudor rose as the logo instead of the emblem, or the Tudor shield as is otherwise known, which is the more modern logo that Tudor uses, which replaced the rose. So again, lovely detail there. And if that's not enough, the crown is decorated in a stunning rose as well. There we are. No attention to detail is spared on this watch. It is simply perfect. And you got a nice shot there of the beveled, elongated lugs. You can just see the precision that the machines that cut these watches are just absolutely brilliant. The barcode there, if you're wondering, is only something you should be concerned about if you've bought this watch from new. Every Tudor watch should have a unique barcode on the side of the case when it's bought new. If it doesn't, there's a problem. Buying pre-owned, obviously the original owner would have taken this off, so as long as it's got box and papers, do not worry, that's fine. The snowflake hour and second hand is sort of a little nod to a diver's piece that Tudor did in the past. So again, anyone who doesn't know, the Black Bay is a combination of watches that Tudor did in the past from the 50s, 60s and the early 1980s, and that's why the snowflake hands are on there, because it's part of that. The Lumabrite, I'm sorry I do not have a demo here for you. I tried it earlier and it didn't come out very well on the video, but trust me when I say this, the Lumabrite on this watch is simply amazing. It's extremely legible. You could see it from a mile away. It is that bright. It's brilliant, and divers pieces of this quality have to have that area top notch, because it needs to be legible underwater, and it is brilliant. So you'll see for yourselves if you get one of these. The bezel, I have to say, is one of the best I have ever felt or heard on a watch. It is extremely precise and it lines up perfectly. It's unidirectional for safety underwater, of course, when you're timing, but 10 out of 10 for the bezel. Just simply spot on, Tudor. Okay, that's the outside of the case pretty much covered, with the exception that it is 41mm and a really, really good size on a wrist, which I'll come to at the end if I've got time. Okay, going on to the bracelet. So the bracelet, again, is of a very high quality, all brushed. You know, the polished parts are the sides of the case, really. They're your main polished bits. Everything else is brushed, and extremely good quality. You know, you've got a beautiful clasp here. It's a deployment clasp with a safety mechanism that goes over the top. And as you can see, Tudor have got the shield there quite nicely engineered in. Just brilliant. You've got screws instead of split pins. Again, another sign of quality on a watch. I'll just bring the focus back. So if you've got the right screwdriver piece, you can adjust this from home. Very, very simple. You do not need to go to a jeweler's or an authorized dealer to do so. And one part of this clasp that a lot of people will miss, and I'm going to show you because I think it is one of the most innovative things I've seen on a watch bracelet. So I'm just going to pull this out here. Okay, stamped with Tudor Geneva inside, with a high polish on this part of the clasp. You will see 4 white ceramic friction bearings. Okay, you've got one here and one here on the inside, and you've also got them on the outside. Let me just get a better shot of that. Okay, so what this does is reduces the wear on the watch. As you can see, when this piece comes down and locks into place, the stainless steel is not rubbing against stainless steel. It is falling perfectly in place with those bearings. And the same here, when this clicks over, as you can see, it's not touching the metal. Anybody who's had one of these clasps in the past on their watch will know that when that safety part of the clasp comes down, it does scratch the watch. There's just no getting away from it. It leaves a little trail, and it's not, you know, going to harm the watch really in terms of the short term, but it was a feature that always annoyed me on these clasps. And Tudor have solved that with it's so simple, but a very unique design, and I really hope other watch companies follow suit because it is brilliant and very, very well thought out. As you can see, these three little circles here that are cut out of the clasp. That is so you've got a few extra millimeters room should you need to tighten it or loosen it. And again, you can do that from home if you've got a tool or even a paper clip will do the job, just to move that along. And I do like that on clasps. It is nice to know that you've got that movement should you need it. And that is the bracelet. Very, very happy. Cannot fault it in any way, shape or form. Truly, truly brilliant. Case back. See if you can see it properly here. I'll just get the zoom back. So case back. Nothing much to say really. It is a plain case back with the Tudor shields, with a little bit of writing on there. The red strip is because I haven't taken the seal off yet, so just ignore that. But again, we have to bring up Rolex because anybody who knows Tudor will know that Rolex do make these watches. It is their sister brand, their more affordable brand. And Rolexes traditionally have a plain case back, as does the Tudor right here. Of course, it's very, I can understand why they've done it. There's no display case back for a very good reason, and that is that it doesn't warrant one. This is a top grade 2824 ETA movement inside here. It is an extremely reliable movement, and it's been done in, Rolex have modified it so it's top grade, so it's going to be extremely accurate. It's only one down from chronometer status, but again, it is not. It's not a particularly attractive movement. It just doesn't need to be shown in the back there. So I'm completely happy with that. No issues there at all. And that pretty much covers what is great about the Heritage Black Bay. The final part, which I'm going to bang through quickly, is of course the criticisms. So here we go. There are not many. The bezel being done in steel. I think there could have been, room there to have done a ceramic bezel, ceramic being much more hard wearing. I know the reason why they haven't done ceramic. Tudor wanted to remain, very closely tied in with their roots of their divers pieces here. and ceramic would not have been on the older generations of the divers watches. You know, they wanted to keep very traditional here, so they've kept it in steel, so fair enough. I don't look at this as a negative, but many may. No date display. Okay, that's going to annoy a few people out there, but you know, just look at it. It's a much cleaner dial because it doesn't have a date on it. So I'm a huge fan of the fact that it doesn't have a date on it, and I don't personally see it as a negative, although I'm sure there are a few of you who will. I personally would have liked the watch to be of a chronometer status because I'm one of those watch enthusiasts who just likes the accuracy to be as bang on as possible. And although they have gone top grade on this, I think they should have gone chronometer. That's just my personal opinion. And finally, the biggest negative of this watch is perhaps its power reserve. 38 hours is weak. There is no argument there. It is a weak power reserve, but I will live with that because I love the watch so much. And here we have it, one final look at the Black Bay before I end this video. Just look at how beautiful that looks on the wrist. Love that they've gone 41mm. It's right in there in the middle, really. It's not too small and it's not too big. It is perfectly proportionate with my wrist, and I love it. So there you have it, the Tudor Heritage Black Bay in Burgundy on the steel bracelet. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please ask me any questions that you like and log them at the bottom of the comments. Thank you.